Good morning, everyone. Namaste. Hello, CLAT aspirants. I welcome back to the Hindu Explainer series. I am Kushagra Goyal, and very warm greetings from Law Prep Tutorial. I know that we took a couple of days break primarily because I was sick because of vaccine dosage, the side effect from vaccine doses, and I hope that all the viewers who are eligible are also getting your respective dose. The In the meantime, one important event has taken place, which was addressed by Anupama ma'am, especially what strategy you all should have. Primarily, that CLAT has been postponed, which I know is a huge mental relief for all the students who have been preparing in such testing times. It is in some way cruel to ask students to focus on academics when the entire news surrounding us is all about of gloom and despair in the society. So it is completely understandable, and that is something that the government, the authorities have also taken a note. But what it does, it changes our goalpost. It shifts the goalpost for current affairs preparation. What becomes the news that you probably, a lot of you must have been ignoring because you were expecting the examination to happen in June, and thus you may have ignored the news in the month of May. Now that becomes important from examination point of view. Decisions, important judgments, important international events that have taken place during this time period now have even more importance. And based on the time period, whenever the new date is set, the current events following up until that date become relevant for all of you for preparation. But rest assured, we are here to talk about all of them. Despite the date of the examination being put out, we were still continuing with the same rigor that the important news is not missed out by any of you. Alright, so on that note, I'll begin with newspaper analysis. The doubts that have followed up in the previous time all will be addressed in this over the week time period, all of them. All right, the ones that I had dropped off in on May 14 will be addressed on May 15th video, so check out that. On that note, so on the very front page, cyclone Taukte, or Taute as we pronounce it, it's from Myanmar or Burmese language, right? So on November 26th, the November 26th video of us, November 26th of 2020, we did an entire in-depth analysis of how this nomenclature goes about. But if there are viewers who want me to do it all over again for all of you, I'll be happy to do that. But in that, I had already done the entire table-wise discussion of what would be the new names and what is the mechanism. The nomenclature mechanism of cyclonic storms becomes important for us. The category of Taute also becomes important, that this is a severe cyclonic storm with winds up till 180 km per hour that have been recorded. So that becomes important to be noted down from our perspective. The place where it makes landfall and the place where it will conclude also are part of importance for us. Now, related to it are also other terms and terminology that needs to be noted down. So first of them is that it will conclude as a depression near Jodhpur region. So that information also becomes important to be noted down, that what is a depression. So these are different categories of cyclonic storm, beginning from a depression and continuing to very severe cyclonic storms. Okay, so India has been on a higher risk of cyclonic storms because of rising sea temperatures, because of rising sea levels, because of global warming. So all of that has affected the reason or our constituents of why we now get far more of these events naturally. All right, so those are things that need to be noted down. But if there are more viewers who want me to do it once again, if you want a more refined understanding of it, we'll be doing that once again. Then on the right hand side, vaccination lags in rural India points to a looming crisis. These are two things that see the second wave of coronavirus has shifted the post from urban areas to now rural areas primarily. but the risk of higher mortality or mortality rate is higher in rural areas because of two things. One, the vaccination itself is low there, and secondly, the kind of health infrastructure that exists in rural areas is also far more primary, in the sense that it lacks tertiary care. The sophistication of health infrastructure lacks there. The other supporting infrastructure is also lacking, which puts the population at higher risk. Then moving on, so yesterday the Kerala government announced its cabinet, and Kumari Shelja, or KK Shelja, who was the health minister and was noted for her response to the Ebola crisis and the crisis of COVID-19 in Kerala, she has been omitted from the cabinet as per the manifesto promise of the government there. So new ministers have been sworn in the state of Kerala. So that is news that is here, but not that much relevant. This name becomes relevant for us because of a renowned approach towards the health crisis in general. Then moving on the city news, we have more related to the RDS that population are facing at large. And then there has been court denies anticipatory bail to Olympic medalist Sushil Kumar. So Sushil Kumar, he is absconding in a case of an attempt to a murder or serious allegations against him that are there, and in that regard he had sought an anticipatory bail. Now the concept of bail, anticipatory bail, is something we have earlier discussed too. These concepts become important for us in general to be understood, not specifically in the case of Sushil Kumar, but the idea of anticipatory bail is something that needs to be noted down or understood for all of you. We have already done that. Okay, so make sure that offenses that are very much in news, the reason why they become important is not from current affairs point of view, but from perspective of you understanding more about questions or passages in legal section. Okay, then the other news is High Court seeks government stand on the GNC TD bill. This is the amendment that has been brought in the NCR region, where the government is now the lieutenant governor. So that has been challenged, that this is against the ethos of the constitution, that this is not as per Republican system of government in India, where the head of the state, what does republic mean? Republic means the head of the state is an elected person. But in Delhi, because of this bill, the head of the state will now be a nominated person, which is the lieutenant governor. So that is being challenged and government stand has been sought. So this is an ongoing trial now. Then moving on the other news from around the country, nothing of real note for us here. So we'll be turning to the editorial section in this regard. So on the editorial front, right? So on the left hand side, the editorial stormy start is accurate forecast and resilience building hold the key to handling severe cyclones. That the reason, so something that we talked about, that we are receiving more and more severe cyclones now, that Arabian Sea and Bay of Bengal are now becoming frequent and more active in terms of turmoil in the sea. So how do we prevent losses? We need earlier warning. When people are warned that sees a crisis is impending, you can prepare for it. And in that regard, IMD had launched a impact-based cyclone warning system in October-December season. So this is to incorporate early detection, specific location where it will hit, what are the areas where it will target. So those are things that they are doing for preparation. Now, not much content for us in general from this editorial, but this is one update. Then delete and control. This is in response to the plasma therapy being dropped as a treatment for COVID-19. This is something that ICMR had earlier also done, but doctors and different state governments continue to do it, which led to a lot of problems for people. So the worst case scenario is that you hope and you believe that the treatment or the medicine you are procuring for your loved one is actually going to cure them. But the real heartbreak sets in when that entire effort is futile, when you know that the tool you're using is bound to fail. And that is exactly what plasma therapy has turned out to be. That plasma banks, people were asked to donate, people running from street to street, social media post to post. This is where experts and guidance about treatment needs to come in at an earlier stage, because a person at the receiving end of the disease doesn't have the expert know-how to deal with this. And that is what this is talking about, that there should be a regular thing with COVID-19 and upcoming diseases, that what works, what doesn't work, and it should be a little more streamlined. Then the main editorial here is talking about tracking the pandemic's rural march, that where it is going, how it is, and how the health infrastructure and how it will aggravate. Now all of these are primary level policy, primacy editorial, so not relevant for us. That there is the shortage of health infrastructure, there is shortage of personnel, there is shortage of funds, there is, and it can aggravate rural distress. How does it aggravate? When you're paying out of your pocket for treatment the amount when you're already impoverished, you will borrow money, and that puts you in debt. So therefore these are long-term effects of policy basis. But what becomes more important for us here is the Tsar of brickmanship must seek peace. That this is talking or putting highlight onto the crisis in Ukraine, Russia. What is this related to? So Ukraine and Russia had the most recent flare up in 2014. What was that about? So I'm going to shift the screen, and on your screen you will see the Crimean Peninsula or Crimea. Okay, and here you can see on the extreme, so on the north of Crimea, this area is Ukraine, and on the east of it is Russia. In 2014, this Crimean Peninsula was annexed by Russia from Ukraine, and that has led to sanctions and deterioration of relationship between Ukraine and Russia. So you can see that Ukraine and Russia are bordering states, and Crimean Peninsula is on the extreme southern tip of Ukraine on the world map. It connects through the Taman Bay and the Strait of Kerch between Russia and Crimean Peninsula. So this is the geographical area of the region, and this is what is the source of conflict. Apart from this, Ukraine has had a long history prior to it. So Ukraine was also a client state of Soviet Russia. When Soviet Russia disintegrated, Ukraine has looked towards Western Europe or Western countries, where NATO is the military alliance that gets you security vis-a-vis effects or exerting pressure from Vladimir Putin's Russia. So there, the play here is that Ukraine believes or risks that until and unless there is sustained peace in the region, there is always a risk of Russia's ulterior motives not being known. That what could be the next move of Russia is something that keeps Ukrainian government sleepless overnight. And why is that so? Is because, exactly as the term, the Tsar of brickmanship. Tsars were the rulers of Russia prior to the Russian Revolution in 1917s, and Vladimir Putin is considered as an autocrat, an incarnation of the Tsar system in its democratic format. So in that regard, this is the root cause of conflict, that Russia wants to expand its influence, and for that it uses military or diplomacy. The most recent event was the flare up at the border, that Russia conducted a 3-week-long military exercise at the border of Russia-Ukraine. It was believed that it could be a precursor to another move to take away further territory of Ukraine. That was unfounded, and peace has returned to the region. So this flare-up shows that, see, there is more sustained need of peace between the two countries. The editorial claims that, see, that can only be possible through better communication between the two countries. Ukraine at the other side. So one is a common suggestion. So the editorial has three things that it talks about. First is the root cause of the conflict, which I talked to you about, is the Crimean Peninsula then, and the annexation, which has reduced the ties between Russia and Ukraine. Then how do you counter a powerful country when you're a weak country? You look for allies. And that is exactly what Ukraine is trying. Ukraine is trying to become a member of NATO or the North Atlantic Treaty Organization. And secondly, this year, it marked the 10th anniversary of strategic partnership with Turkey. Turkey is another important regional neighbor of Ukraine. And therefore, they play an important role in the region. So you can counter a powerful country by getting support from other powerful countries, and that is exactly what Ukraine is looking for in the region. But what all of this posturing of Ukraine also does, it could risk Russia trying to instigate further moves in Ukraine. So to avoid that, you need better communication, and that is what the editorial calls for. Alright, so in this regard, what needs to be understood for us primarily is that, see, organizations that are there, which is NATO, what they are, who is the most important player in NATO. So this editorial is basically knowing the character kind of an editorial. Alright, there is less information, but just a general overview and understanding what this all is about. Okay. Then moving on the op-ed page. So on the left hand side, planning for future waves of the pandemic, we need to enhance our surveillance system, vaccinate quickly, and reprioritize health services. This is something that has been going on for a year. We didn't do it, and therefore the second wave was deadlier. And that is once again policy related, not relevant for us. Then on the right hand side, repoliticize urban planning. This one calls for the DMK government to have a political stand on urban planning in Tamil Nadu. Once again, policy related. On the left hand one, engage with the US progressives. The US progressive, or the progressive part of the Democratic Party. So it is a group of Indian Americans plus other progressives of the Democratic Party of US who were at the forefront of putting pressure on the US government to extend aid to India, to give up on vaccine stockpiles, and third, to commit to the TRIPS waiver. So what this editorial is calling for is that Indian government should look to engage with the progressives of the Democratic Party, primarily because of the influence they hold on the government and the entire administration at large. And secondly, it is also in the interest of India to get better relationship with the US progressives. Now this is something that is more contentious because the progressive arm of the Democratic Party has also criticized the stand that Indian government has taken on political rights in general. So this editorial calls that the Indian government should move beyond that and keep the focus towards and try to get closer to the progressive side of the Democratic Party and not antagonize them further. What this puts into perspective for us is the two things that are important. First, the TRIPS waiver, something we have multiple times talked about, and secondly, the aid that India is receiving. So in that regard, the vaccine stockpile that US has becomes important. It also has a picture of one of the senators, that is Miss Jayapal. She wanted to meet the Prime Minister when he had made his last visit to US, but that was denied. And so this has been part of the acrimony in general of the Indian government with the progressive side. But this editorial then pushes out that, see, despite the Indian government's acrimony towards the progressives didn't hold that as a grudge to assist India. So the Indian government should now extend the leap of faith and move and repose their faith towards the values that the Democratic Party also holds true. Then the data point talks about how the overall focus of the pandemic is shifting to different areas, and how the adversity of the second wave is also reducing with time. Then moving on the other national news. So here is one headline about 9,000 Indian details checked into US entry scheme. What is this entry scheme? This is basically a prior data check or a prior checking of you, which would reduce the time that you may face at the airport. So this is a sophisticated system. The global entry is a facility of US Customs and Border Protection. Under this, individuals are pre-screened so that at airports and customs they spend less time. Usually when you are at the airport, you go to a new country, it's approximately takes 3 to 4 hours, sometimes even more, for you to clear customs there. So this system is basically to avoid or reduce that time for low risk individuals. So this is a US government scheme. Indian government is only helping the US extend the program to Indian citizens who want to fly frequently to United States. So this was a pilot project and India has become a member of it since 2017. Alright, so remember that this is a specific national policy of the US Customs Department and not of any international organization. Okay, then moving on the other national news. So one of them stands out for us, which is a new system will be put in by WHO to name virus variants. That WHO has recognized that what is happening now is a lot of xenophobia, a lot of stigma gets attached to people if a virus strain is named after particular community or a particular country. Last year, coronavirus was also labeled by Donald Trump, the ex-US president, as Chinese virus. Alright, a lot of Indian journalists also use the word Chinese virus. What this has led to is a higher number of crimes against Asian Americans in America. Similarly, different variants of the virus are also linked geographically, such as Indian variant, UK variant, South African variant, Brazilian variant. So understanding that these have risk, WHO will put in a similar system of naming as same as what we have for cyclone. Therefore, this news puts into perspective that why you should go back and watch the November 26th episode of our news analysis and the in-depth analysis of how we name cyclones. Okay, so the World Meteorological Organization asks countries to put in their names. They are generic. They are not related to any particular geographical location. They are unique and cannot be attributed to any one country specifically. So that kind of system will now be placed in for all variants of viruses. Okay, then moving on is the international news. So while the conflict in Gaza and in Israel-Palestine rages on, more and more people are being killed. There is no let up on this happening. United States has also stopped any bid of Security Council at UN to interject or intervene to have a ceasefire or end hostilities there, because Israel is backed by US, and to back its ally, US is stopping any UN Security Council resolution to be passed, which is calling for stopping of violence. So while this is happening, more and more the humanitarian toll of the crisis ravages on. On the right hand side though, the Supreme Court of Sri Lanka has given go ahead to a port city, the Colombo port city as it is being called, closer to the Colombo city of Sri Lanka, which is a Chinese backed investment. So basically on the lines of Dubai, Singapore, China, in an attempt to increase its foothold in the Indian Ocean region, is building up a tax haven. What is tax haven? A place where if you park your investment, you will not be taxed particularly, or whatever income you earn from this particular area will not be taxed. Now this was challenged by political parties in Sri Lanka in their Supreme Court, that this would reduce the sovereignty of Sri Lanka, that it would make Sri Lanka client state of China. the Supreme Court has given a go-ahead to the project. So therefore, if you are asked a question, which city is being built as a tax haven in Indian Ocean region by China, the answer is the Colombo Port City. Okay. Then moving on, US has also committed to send more vaccines abroad, that is to India and other countries, and it will not only include the AstraZeneca vaccine, something that Joe Biden had earlier stated, but the other mRNA vaccines such as Pfizer and Moderna, and the single shot Johnson & Johnson vaccine. This is as US vaccinates more and more population of its own, it puts it to highlight that now it has the onus to protect other people. Then at the same time, there is also this news: US against militarization of Arctic. This is in response to Russia. So because of climate change, Arctic, which used to remain snow-clad throughout the year, the snow cover of the Arctic Ocean and the Arctic region has reduced. As it has reduced, it has natural resources, and to have control over those natural resources, Russia has been militarizing that region more and more. In response to that, US has stated that it has no intention to do it, and it doesn't want countries to do that also. In that regard, this is in response to Russian activities. So this is a space that can or potentially be of note for us in the future. On that note, so moving on to the economic news. So on the economic page, the GST Council is about to meet for the first time in a lot of months, and that is something that could talk about GST relief on COVID-19 related items. So that is something that needs to be seen for us to. The courts have asked the government to do it. Whether it will be done or not, it needs to be seen. On the sporting side, there is not much news for us of note. Thus, on that note, I will conclude for the day. And in today's news, once again, one of the most important one is the UK-Russia Crimean dispute in the first. That is one major highlight from today's newspaper. The second important news for you all is the nomenclature criteria, how cyclones are named, and how the same format will be now used for variants of the viruses also. So that thing, two news from today's newspaper, important for you all to note down. On that note, I'll conclude for the day. Take care all of you, and I will see you all tomorrow.